And now you're Isonyalani. Nanketa, let's do it again. I am Roy Equidifer.
And I am Uchechuku Abraham. Good morning, na Nzuko Anambra watch data.
And today's edition we'll be talking about sustaining good governance in our dear state, Anambra. And we want to welcome our guest in the studio. He is the Anambra State Chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance as ABGA. And I want to welcome Barrister Ifatu Biokoye. Igrigi? No, Nzuko Anambra.
No.
In areas,
Easter.
Very Easter, happy Easter.
Oh, yes. I'm very happy. I can take the two. You're welcome. Yeah, good to have you again. Okay, let's look at what we can define as good governance to form the premise before we, continue.
Let us take back to deliberate policy of development.
Yeah.
Mr. Governor worked in Anambra State. We saw a governor who came quite prepared with a clear vision, a clear knowledge and roadmap, and a clear development plan. Mr. Governor did not come in as it were to learn on the job. Yeah, but in barely 24 hours, or Mapugo, Bidol, and somewhere like Oboko. Yeah, but once again, the concept of good governance for us, the embedded in certain principles, the principles of transparency, and the principles of accountability, and the principles of getting the people involved in the governance process. These three major arms were what has sustained what Mr. Governor has been doing. If we're about accountability, you think of the fact that before now, or before Mr. Governor came into place, just one small example, because a lot of people keep asking, where does he get the money?
Yeah.
OJ perform all this magic. There was a joke last week. I saw on Facebook, somebody said Mr. Governor should be taken to EFCC. These wonderful things without borrowing one kobo. But simple examples, and not that but the principles of good governance. Some time ago, it used to cost about 137 million per month for cleaning services in government health. Mr. Governor came in and cut it to 11 million.
Yeah.
You check government house, if not clean, you ask yourself, so much can be done with the different. So for now, I'll say that good governance stands out on these principles of transparency in governance, accountability, and sustaining the governance value with the ordinary people in Achi. These are the three basic principles in my mind. Now sustain this regime, now sustain the ABGA government, now sustain Governor Soludo's government.
Okay. We're going to look at Anambra's current development position at the moment. Would you say that the Soludo-led administration is laying a strong foundation for sustainable governance? Because that's what we're looking at this morning.
Oh, definitely. That's one conclusion that is not wrong on any premise. On every premise that I think as we were at the beginning, Governor Soludo, it came clearly in his mind. He came with a clear roadmap, what he wanted to achieve in the governance process. And he set something which he has sustained that his governance process will be disruptive. Disruptive in the sense, positively disruptive. There were hitherto areas that you couldn't touch. There were hitherto areas you could not just step on when you were looking at the big factors, big institutions. Some of these policies got affect. But Mr. Governor remained focused on achieving deliverables of good governance. Echetambo bido, the Silton, and so on. I was saying, fence in Doka. You dare not do such things, and things like that. And these things were done on pure policy of governance, because those things were built on unauthorized and unlawful areas. And the bigger picture, but now we're building, Mr. Governor is building a dual carriage road. And now kutu, naga, onye matelu mugumia, apayaka, ijenene. All these buildings were built on unlawful ground. Because then we have a distance between the building area and the main road. And if you remember, each governor comes, on the big factors, you know the big institutions. These things. Someone can never saw the big Catholic church. I confess here.
Yeah, I saw that.
You see, it takes me back to some years ago in this same state when the old roads in Oka was dualized. It used to be a tiny road, and there was this 4 or 5 story building at around the Koka.
Yes, the Koka, yes, at the roundabout.
One big man that was living in Cameroon or something like that, he was like, how do you touch that house? The government said, the house, this 5-story building, was unlawfully erected. There are no emotions about that. That has also sustained the development process with Governor Soludo when he said it will be disruptive. It will be positively disruptive. Nene internal generated revenue. We've done so well in the last 3 years, moving our IGR from about 1.3 to between 4 and 5 billion per month. You had to step on many toes. There were many windows, there were many illegal windows for this to happen. But this could not happen over years. And Mr. Governor says, we've not had enough. My target is that Anambra should be able to raise about 10 billion naira per month. That's his target. And they are going through policies. The revenue people have promised that within the next quarter, perhaps of next year, we'll be able to reach 7 to 8 billion. For my friend, Ibiana Anambra only billion to the 4.1 park, and Alego. Only look at the beautiful emblem, Alego. And things like that. People have industries that are not even registered, and all the people now manufacture and things like that. The big institutions are not paid. Don't get There was a UB and a few banks. They were owing us about 6 billion and so on. But we have a governor determined to do the right thing in the process of governance process, institution, and attacked these areas for the good of the people of Anambra. If ever they were low. So, to my mind, it's challenging, but it's worth it, because in 3 years, Anya Fugo, this unprecedented development, never before attained by Anambra State, and the Ukwu election, on what record, on what scores, KJG, for one. Sometimes I listen to opposition, but they don't even know what to say. I say take you to the center. No, Center. I'm saying I'm giving them one the bank. I don't know. I used to run a center. I was center, Mama. I used to run a center. But the king, even in that argument, people should tell me what the governors of the APC are doing better than we are doing. What that relation called center relationship has achieved for them. Our Imo State was APC. Well, on the idea is we compare Anambra State. So that's not an argument. So we keep congratulating Mr. Governor for sustaining this vision of good governance.
Before we open up the phone lines, how do you think government institutions, the House of Assembly, and of course the judiciary can help in, entrenching good governance in the state?
Good governance requires a collaboration of all the arms of government. A legislature must have the capacity, the courage, and the vision for good laws that will sustain the governance process, laws that have to be made timelessly. One of the biggest laws I knew recently, the Homeland Security law, well thought out. I must give a lot of credit to those who drafted that law, because it was quite embracing beyond the vendors on a member. Their thoughts beyond the question of just catching and prosecuting the criminals. They went to root cause, Banabidibia, and to those that facilitate spiritually and otherwise, even those that say, because one thing you know, there's no criminal that goes out to cause harm that goes with the same mind and without some things like that. They attack those areas, provided better technology now. That is why we are enjoying what we're enjoying today. Look at Easter. People do this. Imagine Anambra. Sorrows, Rolls cars, and people were moving about here and there, attending weddings and so on. Kudos to the new peace arising from those good laws. Same for the judiciary. Judiciary must also be firm. One of the things new is when you catch a criminal, the next thing is that he goes to court and he's just released like that. When he's not even properly prosecuted, and justice, sometimes they say denied is justice delayed. Judiciary must also be sustainable in the service of justice, have cases disposed in time, with a clear vision of rule of law. So, anywhere collaboration in this context between the other arms of government and the executive, then you see a perfect play out of a good governance.
Okay, just within the law week this week, Anambra State Chief Judge Anya Chebelu asks Nigerians to equally obey court order, just to lend credence to what you're saying.
Particularly the executive, that will only sustain stability in the system. The law is no respect of any person. That law you disobey today, maybe because you're chief executive, you're this or that, we'll catch up with you tomorrow when you retire, and so on.
Okay, the assessment of the rule of law in Anambra State based on what we're talking about now, what's it like?
I have also said, and I gave kudos to those who drafted that Odogachi law, and I'm also Anambra Homeland law, security law.
Yes.
I must also commend the judiciary under the present regime of Honorable Justice. We have not had any scandals.
Okay.
Amongst the judges. We have not had undue cases of delaying justice and so on. So I keep commending the judiciary, and I pray they sustain this level of cooperation so that the question of good governance will sustain even from the judiciary. Yeah.
Okay, to join the conversation, just call us on 0706 5381 320.
Or you can send us messages on WhatsApp to the WhatsApp number 0705 113 8812. Send us messages on that WhatsApp number, or drop your comments on Facebook at Anambra Broadcasting Service on Facebook. We're live. Go there, drop your comments. We do want to read them out when we do see them. Remember to move away from your radio set, and you have just 35 seconds to lend your opinion or thoughts or ask a question this morning.
And in case you just joined us, the topic is sustaining good governance in Anambra State, and our guest is the Anambra State Chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, ABGA, Barrister Ifatu Obiokoye Igirigi. So keep your calls coming, and when you do, you just have 35 seconds to drop your conversation. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning this morning.
Ndị Anambra ekele m ụlọ
Anyị kelekwa onye Anambra.
David Moore na Nanka.
Momo.
Iwe ọkụ.
Inusikash.
Nwanne m nwoke ụtụtụ dịrị gị mma onye nke bịapụtara na studio.
Tuwe gị.
It's not me tuwe gịnị. David Moore na Nanka. Anụ m ihe ọ na-ekwu maka ọrụ gọvanọ na alụmaghị n'ọgba ngharị ịma ndị nke taasị onye ma mara ebe oje ya wuru mpaghara okpoko bụ 1982 ka m ji wee biri okpoko ya gwuru ihe ebe ọrụ ụlọ ọgwụ inweta ihe mmiri na-eme ndụ mmadụ mana ọgwụ ego ha na-arụ ụlọ ọgwụ a mmiri niile na-aga o nwere ile ọ na-akpọ Chidebere ọ ya rụ 200 mana alụghị ile ahụ ọ na-aga ebe a ka Olumba police station dị a na-alụ ile niile ọzọ obodo mbụ na nka abụ m ile a na-alụ nke a ịgazi ọnwa onye moto mape ọ gabeghị nna ya mba iji amara ebe iji eme bifọ ị gaa isi ebe a ga bifọ ị na-efe ntị ozi onye ọkada nọkata okpowa apụtara na elodo kewata ozuo mba so anyị bụkwa na ya nụ ọ bụrụkwanụ taa nchọta amarakwa m ọkụ ịhụrụ m na-eruru gọvanọ nso ụnụ mara etu ụzọ esi kere dị gọvanọ of Anambra steeti mba ka ikenele nye maka ụlọ eru ya nso enwere ebe anyị ruru atụmọdụgo ọnụ ma dị ndị Anambra mma dịkwu ndị na nka mmanụ ma n'agha nke nna na nke ọkpara na nke mmụọ nsọ
it's well.
We have a message on Facebook from Matthew Anambra. Just wrote, watching live from Northia. Akamma, watching live from Northia. Keep your comments coming. We'll be able to read them out when we do see them.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, dear Joyce.
Good morning this morning.
Oh, do I see them? And I need how I can do it. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, after what?
Because I did you can challenge you. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can talk and job because it's our cargo airport. I don't want to because I'm sure that they see wherever I made that abroad. But I'm on that airport or now they're on that standard. So obviously I can down away from the yard so can people see that when I go abroad. Secondly, I need green secret light because security I go very strong when they are at night. Only in your security.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I have about like 3-4 persons, and then we'll get back to the guest in the studio. Hello.
What are you doing with the people?
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Can I forget this wine? Sorry, we're not on the same page. We're not squeezing oranges here. So we're running a serious business. If you're not ready for us, don't call, don't flash us. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Because I'm making Benjamin Esmaka will not. Because I'm making a good intention for this state.
Yep.
Man, way to me when we connect with those about the agents, government agents. All Hana happy days in Hagana also. Eben Konam, the last 2 weeks. Somebody who is showing we on the level marker. Now, street, that place is that place. It's wrong. This agent will Tagamado Costa now beside the man Cholero. Let's say Monamero the castle Abapazanaja. Or Bataja may do Quadaga, the agent aga. Now, we have been the Jacolo governor. Because some of the agents, Hamalo to Haganalo, Hamalum Kezi, Halon Kezi, Balon.
All right. That's good. That's the sense of patriotism there. See something, say something. Yeah. Hello.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ojeli Boken Okoye, calling from Oka.
Okay, Ojeli, you're welcome.
I want to commend first the Abga state chairman. Is he Grigge?
Yeah.
I've been listening to you, and I've always expected you to go further than where you are now. I was expecting you to be at the national level, maybe the national chairman. I've heard how you speak and how you coordinate your affairs. You ought to be at that level. That will push up the party and the governance of APCA. That is one. The other one too is because of the high regard I have for you. You made a statement last time that you were going to help one journalist that had a problem. I think she broke her leg or something. Incidentally, I met her at Aruma, and she was complaining that she hasn't reached you or you haven't been able to meet with her. So I'm using the opportunity to plead on her behalf if you can assist her like you promised. That is the one. That's the second one.
No, you just have 3 seconds to conclude. You can save the last one for another day, okay? Thank you.
Okay,
So
that's all right. Thank you very much.
All right. Your name again?
Ojeli Boken Okoye, I'm an architect.
All right, thank you. Yeah, back to the guests in the studio. You may wish to, react to the questions.
Let me start with the last one. About the journalists. Thank you, you raised it again. On a personal note, I've actually been looking for who made the comment the last time. I'll please, Ojelibo, if you're still listening, I'll give my number and I will love that I be contacted directly on this issue.
Or they can come to your office now.
You can come to the party office because even the lady you met in Aroma has not contacted me. Let the lady come to the party office. I think my number is in the public domain.
Yeah.
And I had promised, and I still make that promise. But let her not sit there and wait for me to be looking for her.
Yeah.
Let her take some steps. I've assured her that as soon as we make physical contact, even on phone, we'll be able to do something for her. Regarding the other one you mentioned, I think I'm here for very special reasons as God has determined.
Sure.
And I think I'm okay with it.
Yes.
Tomorrow, whatever position God places upon me, I will still perform.
Yes.
Somebody also talked about the excesses of government agents.
Yeah.
And I like the patriotism in you in mentioning it.
Yes.
What will always happen, it goes with the mantra, see something, say it.
Say something.
We will take the message to the necessary people and it will be investigated. We've had occasion where issues like this come up, particularly with the traffic people who are always meeting with the public. And when reports are made, it's always handled. Only here, street light. Thank you. I acknowledge the fact that the security situation. I was in Ihiala. I was in what do you call it, Okija, over the weekend when the two gents had their customary marriage. Obi Jackson and you people were there. Yes, people were there. And the function continued until very late at night. And people were coming in and going, and I was saying, Ihiala, Okija, of all places. So we must give kudos to Mr. Governor for creating that security situation where people could drive into here as late as 8, 9 at night, relax, some left by 12 midnight. I think I left Okija around 11.
Wow.
I think when I got home, my wife was like, are you really coming from Okija?
So the mammoth crowd here was equally
honestly, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And we must continue to encourage government to sustain it. Street light, and again, I think this street light thing had been addressed by the Commissioner for Information some time ago.
Yes.
It comes within the second phase of the street lighting that had been awarded. So, Mokwelin Didi, I get equal street light. And then Mokwelin does. Because cargo airport. One thing about the rhetorics and polemics of airport now, we came initially with the impression that the airport was finally finished and ready to go.
Yeah.
The good thing is that we have an airport today, plane can come in at the domestic level. Whether that airport is ready for international flight becomes another issue. You will also notice that we don't have flights at night. Before. Some of those things are still in the process. That airport is designed to take in all that improvement.
Yeah.
And government, just 2 weeks ago, Mr. Governor completed the renovation and opened the dual carriage road that leads to the airport from the front gate, from the express side, and named it William Biano Boulevard. Work is ongoing. There's also the second way that comes from the Umuleri end, and every other. There are many things that are supposed to be functional at that airport that are yet to. But one thing I must say to you is that the airport is not abandoned. Good work is still in progress.
Okay, recently around last 2 weeks, you had a lot of defections from one party to another, and you are the chairman, the state chairman of All Progressive Ghana Alliance. You like the rest will say, the people from PDP will say they are not bothered. What's your response and reaction to the defections going on so far in the political scene?
Well, for us in Anambra, it's Uhuru, because it's been defections from many other parties to APGA.
Okay.
There were defections from some faction of APC to APGA. There were the Fanyoba group, and was, of course, so many APC groups. You noticed Chaide Melifanyi Bezi make his comments on social media and so on and so forth. We've had defections from PDP, several. You know, PDP is in factions. We've had about 3 major factions of PDP coming to APGA. And I think these labor, I don't know whether they still exist, but the monthly labor are really quite a number of them have moved. So has it also been. APC has been most hit negatively by defection, flowing their infamous primaries. We had one of the major contenders moving from APC to YPP, resigning completely
from the party.
We saw withdrawals. We don't know whether they are moving into other parties. You see, PDP seems to me like a mourning wife, a widow. You know, when you meet a mourning widow, she speaks in tongues, sometimes depending on the level. Most times what she's saying it don't make sense. PDP in Anambra today has a candidate who is not even a member of PDP. You know the character. The character was in APC, and suddenly we found him picking up the ticket of PDP, and they feel comfortable about that. I don't know. You got the national level, most of their governors are breaking down, as it were. I keep calling them prisoners of war, as it were, when people have problems because they have not shown sustainable governance. They are bound to fall into such trap. A visit to APC, a visit to EFCC is a wisdom to leave PDP. So leave it for them. Let them continue like that. That's why I described them like the mourning widow. Yeah. Who don't even understand what she said. Okay. Things like that.
But then again, the nation's political space appears to be, inching towards a one-party state. If eventually that happens, what does it portend for the nation's polity?
I'm not sure that will be good. Okay. I'm not sure. Considering the fact that even within the parties, we truly don't have real internal democracy. Okay. If there were to be internal democracy in all the parties, internal democracy in the civilized sense, then it doesn't matter if we are all in one party, because you can only you will always find your feet within due process in one party. But for you to have that kind of situation, we must also have provision for independent candidates. When you look at it in the context that the law does not provide for independent candidates, it becomes dangerous. What has sustained our democracy is the fact of this multiplicity of parties. That is why when you fail primaries in APC, you move into YPP, and so on and so forth. You have an option to go try your strength elsewhere and things like that. So it's not too good. I don't think that is healthy, considering the nature of the country, the multi-ethnic, multi-level. I don't think it will bring about the needed national cohesion and development. There must be credible opposition. Why I say credible? Not just opposition for the sake of opposition. Credible opposition helps governance. They bring out the faults, the weaknesses, and allows those in government to improve upon them. People in government should never get annoyed when they are criticized. As long as the criticism is credible, it should help in the adjustment of the governance process. But these days we have a lot of people come out insult, bring up things that don't even make sense. So there's need. I do not subscribe for a one-party situation. I won't be comfortable with that. The likes of me will always speak out, and I'm not sure I'll be comfortable in a one-party system that will allow me the latitude to express the much as which I would like to express. I'm sure that goes for a lot of people.
We have messages on Facebook from Ofolete Chinechorem Jane Angelica on the issue of judiciary disposing of cases when it's being put to court. That can be more promoted when there is employment of eligible lawyers, since the court can be piled up with cases and people going free, even when they are supposed to be convicted, doesn't mostly attribute to the working masses, but the big men and women in the state who can easily go scot-free of their crimes. Chima Nzubechukwu Mwajako, the governor of Anambra State, is doing wonderfully well. I recommend him for second term in office. We see your messages. Please keep dropping your messages. We do well to read them out when we see them.
All right, somebody is here. Hello. Hello, speak to us. Hello. Hello? Hello? It appears it's not ready for us. Okay, how can the citizens or the electorate help in sustaining good governance? Okay, before you react, somebody is here. Let's see if it gets through. Hello?
Hello. My name is Benjamin. I'm going to complain about the government agents. This is the Ben, and maybe whether it's out.
I think that has been taken care of.
I'm now standing at that place. This is Girls Secondary School, Oka. And there is a road, cross Lugaba to Ekite Road. If you come out from this program, drive through that place now, just opposite to the school.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying. And usually I will stand there up to 1 hour.
Okay, thank you.
And then you see the gate, and I'm at the start.
All right.
And if you go around to some other things, I don't even like, I don't make a contribution on radio.
Okay.
Because sometimes
you've made your point, and we want to thank you for that contribution. Yeah. Okay. I will better know if you react here. Hello. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning,
Okay.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. I can't even comprehend what you said, you know. But also back to Igirigi.
Yes.
Yeah, like how the citizens or people can help in sustaining a good governance.
Yes, all of us.
Yeah.
A lot are saying, oh, God, Mr. Governor has done so well, and things like that. We must sustain it collectively.
Yeah.
And in many ways, in our civic responsibility, when you say IGR has improved from 1.3 to 4 towards 5 billion, it is because government is now collecting more IG, the generated revenue and things like that. Our taxes have to be paid because for once, we've seen a government that is giving back to the society from money collected from the society. So a lot of people are still not paying their taxes. You'll be surprised. Only when they have one civic responsibility performed, they begin to go and look for their tax clearer. Let's pay our taxes as at when due. Let's stop illegal collection of revenue that ought to go to government and things like that. Let's meet with our basic responsibility to society. Anyway, we know this crime. Crime cannot even be sustained if the civil society does not help. See something, say something. There is no magic about it. So it's a two-way thing, which can be summarized and said, let us keep meeting up with our civil responsibility towards the governance process that will sustain good governance for everybody.
Okay. All right, we have a message here. Good morning, sir. My name is Joan Moye from Timber Shade, Umoboka. I want to appreciate the governor for his good works and for what he has done for the people of Anambra State. May God bless and strengthen him. Amen. Please can he come to Timber Shade, Umoboka for those for close to 2 years now, shops were demolished without any communication with the original owners of the shops, and now some part of the demolished areas were built and another set of people are occupying it. We don't really know what is happening. Can our able governor please look into this? Nobody is talking to us. Thank you. That's from Nzuko, all the way from Timber Shade, Umobu. Okay. Keep your messages coming. We'll take one more call and then
Wrap it off.
yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Odutoma.
What's on?
ABS Kanamono. Nanu meyo na kuna eza na namba huko.
No.
Ana maike nono na ikenori na wangu magere tubalo kwa kuna tu.
Dawo.
Malo mo liwe demo danna yo kumakana.
Liwa yana yukuko on another level.
Tori ne. Ona miwoma.
Okay.
Manamu beza na nario kenne. Enwa lozo si ibatamba ukweba uzo gawale nu waisi. Weba u maulu. Uzo amu hangi zira hanga. Izo wena mazime lawyer.
Okay.
Biko kena. Awana deputy na kuiwe. Baba wenu numtakeba unine chazwo. Kolo mani nona alukai. Eku biyekuti na iga kuniwe. Kolo to biwendo zawalago. Abiko sine banya niwe. Edo zila nyuzo. Makamili ne blumma.
Okay. All right.
Udo duru na reason jitini kena chukuni bwana ngabu kenori na konabo benkowa.
Okay. Just like to add to what he said, the nation's polity, that's at the national level. Corruption seems to, be undermining good governance.
Yes.
How can we curb the excesses of corrupt leaders in the country, and then you can marry with what the last caller said?
Yes, curb it as it were, corruption.
Yeah.
Must come from top, not from bottom.
Yeah.
As in initiate, maybe. And when at the top level, we are not showing good practices, it flows down the line.
Yeah.
So it goes on again to all of us. We must keep electing people who have credible credentials. Election kind of work, the beauty of Anambra State is that we know ourselves. If only now,
Yeah.
Monday now, somehow, we know the antecedents, we know the history of everybody. It's not enough to come out and say, H.A.B. Governor, Anyima, ABCD, Anyima, Kisi. Thank God today, we put our trust on Governor Soludo, who has shown credibility at the level of governance. Easy. For many factors, indiscipline, societal indiscipline growing up. Man, a bottom line for me, that factor must come from top.
Okay.
If you are placed a manager, then you want the subordinates to be corruption-free, then you must start from that top level.
Yeah.
So for all of us, family, and the head of family, I say, man, you are, the wife say they are the neck, husband and wife, show good practices, the woman and the man. So let it be a top to bottom issue and we'll get it right.
All right.
All right.
On this note, we want to conclude today's edition of our Nzuko, Anambra, and today we talked about sustaining good governance in Anambra State with our guest barrister Ifatu Biokoye, the state chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. We want to thank you for coming once more.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Anambra keep having faith in us. And we all want Governor Soludo back, but we must come out to vote.
Oh, yes. Can't do before Damona. Yes. I'm worried, thanking you for joining us.
And I am Uche Chukwu Ebonam. The world to stay with us. We'll be handing over the debate to Prince Kawanko and Anthony Ugo Chukwu. So to well to sit back and enjoy the ride because there's no dominant on radio.